Hello, darling. Welcome to another episode of Shamanic Heart Space. I'm Nancy. The feeling took me to do an episode on what I can only describe as epic April for 2023. So here we are. If you're new here, I'll let you know that I regularly channel messages for the collective around the energies, usually the new and full moon, and then some extra stuff happens over on Patreon. But let's get into it, shall we? Okay, so please take what resonates and leave what doesn't. I always encourage people to see what messages come through for them while they're listening. Alright, I like to take a few deep breaths, feel grounded where I am, where you are. Alright, so epic April. There's a lot going on energy-wise at the moment, and it's going to be really important to stay present and to stay grounded in your body. We can kind of think of April as a month of looking what's not in alignment in our lives, and like what you want and where you want to head in your life. So in other words, there could be a period of adjustment starting in April. Anything that doesn't line up with your soul may just fall away. And we've got eclipse season looming. The energy of the eclipses is already being felt. It's already quite present. So this is a time really to make any preparations for that. So we're in the beginning stages of letting go and focusing more on what brings us joy, what feels in alignment, what feels right for us. Where do you need to set yourself free? Is there anything that still needs to be cleared? Any old traumas, any old patterns and conditioning? Anything that's holding you back from your highest vibrational frequency? So with that, there could be some things that you're ignoring or just not able to see, things that are in our shadow. And that's perfectly normal. I don't like the word normal, but you know what I mean. We all have a light side and a shadow side. And sometimes there are things that we can't see, some things that take a little bit more digging around, peeling back the layers to work them out. And some things just feel too scary or too painful to look at head on. So the image I'm getting for this is somebody looking into a black mirror. So that would usually be something for scrying. So this tells me it's time to really look into ourselves and consciously use the energy that is available to help to neutralize and weed out any of those things that are looming around in our unconscious, in our psyche, that are just no longer serving us. Part of this work that I do, it tends to make me yawn, so sorry if I'm making you yawn. It's because sometimes the messages that come through as a channel, they use my body, they use my voice for that. Part of that brings on a yawn for some reason sometimes. Okay, so question that's coming through is, have you been too attached to someone or something? So it's going to be really important to be honest with yourself and really courageous in letting go of any unhealthy connections within the energetic body, particularly the energetic field. So if there are any real emotional, watery, bogged down feelings around attachments, really, it's going to be a time for letting go of attachments. So attachments can come in the form of people, in the form of ideas, expectations, actual physical possessions. Yeah, big one seems to be coming through is expectations. So it can take some time. It can be difficult for the ego mind to not be attached and just to accept what is and that everything is happening for our highest good. But sometimes it just takes a bit of training. All right, so different energy coming in now. It's likely that some people are going to definitely feel more clarity around what direction to take going forward. But shedding emotions is really necessary for any movement to take place. So be brave and dive deep into your black mirror so that your energetic body can be lighter and then it can go higher. And then that way, clarity will come about, yeah, maybe you've been feeling a little bit stuck for a while, not sure which direction to take. Maybe lots of options, maybe no options actually, but just not sure, feeling a bit sort of stuck, maybe a bit disheartened. This often happens before a period of change takes place, so it's good news. It's just working towards lightening that energetic body. So anything heavy or messy that you don't want to look at, yeah, this is the time. Throughout April, there will be more time going forward. This isn't going to just be contained within the calendar month. This is the beginning of a process. A lot of people think that, they underestimate how long a process can take. And yeah, it can take a long time. It depends how much you can surrender, and it depends how much you want to learn along the way. But with your best efforts, keep things light and simple. So as we're all moving forward, we don't want to be dragging any old baggage with us, do we? So this might require some strength, but the really good news is that the energy is there to support you in this. So harnessing that, so being intentional and calling on that energy to help you with uncovering what you haven't been able to see and to let go of the things that are difficult to let go of as you honor how you feel. Okay, so I'm getting the sense that there's a lot of chaos going on in the world. I am out in the Amazon jungle, so I don't really have much idea about what else is going on in the world. But I get the feeling, a claustrophobic feeling, and there's a lot of chaos, a lot of noise. So the message is that you can observe that chaos. You don't have to absorb it. You don't have to become part of it. And it's important now and always to only involve yourself with what feels good to you and what feels right to you. This is a really potent time for uncovering and discovering so much about your soul essence, your God essence, and all of those distractions around you. Yes, they are reflections of what is going on in our inner worlds, but we don't have to attach to them. This is part of how we establish neutrality within ourselves. Like, okay, that's happening, that's just information. Can I use that for anything? What can I learn from that? But really not getting involved with any outside chaos. Okay, so there's a huge shift taking place, which is being shown to me as like an upgrade. It's visuals like a computer game and with light moving upwards. So this is a huge collective shift. And so if you feel like being a hermit at this time, do it. It's very possible that you don't want to share how you're feeling and what you're going through, because you're kind of reprogramming yourself and integrating at the same time, processing. It's a big process going on, and so you just might not feel like being around other people. So if usually you are around people and you like to talk about your feelings and whatever, and now you don't feel like that, don't overthink it. Just give yourself what you need. If you need to hermit, if you need to take yourself away, just do it. Because as well, with so much changing and moving, it's very likely you feel tired, emotional, spotlights on where you feel lack possibly, and a kind of sense of the void inside. Maybe even showing you where your core wounds are. And remember, these are just signposts for things to look at and then to let go of. So give yourself space and time to process that. Especially in Western society, there's this kind of expectation, this myth that we can just snap our fingers and get on with it and process things really quickly. And actually, let's just slow down. In a lot of cases, it's taken a long time to develop coping mechanisms, even if they don't work for us anymore. So it's going to take a while to undo those behaviors, undo those thinking patterns, break away from any relationships that are not serving you, you know? And as well, the ego really wants to hold on. So you might be feeling a tug of war between the ego and the soul, the ego and the heart space, the mind and the heart. So just drop back into your heart space. Breathing, meditating, taking time out in nature with the different elements, doing the things that you love, being creative. Your soul is free, your heart is free. And from these places, we're learning a whole new way to communicate with each other, with our surroundings, with our planet. Just be gentle. This very deep and huge reprogramming is taking place for the planet as well as everything that's living on it. So just surrender as much as possible. See the truth in your heart. Anything that you're beginning to process now will continue going forward. So the more that you can surrender and observe, the easier that will be. So yeah, again, the message is just give yourself space and time. It'll be easier if you're willing to surrender. Just, this is happening, this is how I feel, and this too shall pass. Don't try to bury down your feelings. Okay, so a little bit of a change here. So they're showing me just before the middle of the month, there's going to be a huge boost in energy. Wow, this feels like abundance and light and luck and confidence. It feels like Phoenix rising, like good news, like really, really positive shift upwards in the energy, which we can lean into too, of course. That's the whole point of me doing these energy readings. So work this energy to your advantage. So that means really leaning into the things that get your vibration higher and louder and bigger. Lean into love and joy and laughter. Be creative, be free. Just let go. Just let go. Life is an experience, and every day will take care of itself. Don't think about tomorrow. Don't think about the things or the people that are dragging you down. There's especially around just before the middle of April. So like, I don't know, I'm getting a sense of this showing me actual numbers now, so, you know, I might as well just tell you what I can see. Between the 10th and the 15th is what they're showing me, is a very special kind of window of opportunity to initiate yourself into a new beginning is what I'm getting here. So be really intentional. Whatever you plant in that time, during that window of abundance, is going to keep growing. It's going to keep going. So if you have to just switch your mind off from thinking about certain things that are dragging you down for this period, then so be it. Yeah, so this is true alchemy. I'm getting a vision of a gardener now, so the beginning of April, like a time to sort of get the ground right for sowing the seeds, and then the middle part of April there, that window I just talked about, is where the seeds can grow. So yeah, be aware, whatever you put your energy on and what you think about is what is going to come into your life. Yeah, for a new chapter. And it will come as easily as you want it to. If you tell yourself it's going to be easy, it will be easy. Or you might even think it's been too easy. Kind of feeling validated about how quickly things come into your life that you've been really waiting for, actually. And maybe you thought they were never going to come, but this energy is like fresh air. Wow, okay, that's good news. I'm looking forward to that. Okay, so it's a message of watching your own energy. It could be really easy to get carried away in one way or another. So leaning into the most positive expression for you. So I think this is really talking about triggering and reactivity and lower vibrational stuff. So just don't waste your energy. Save it for what you want to grow, and what you only invest in what you really care about. Just, and maybe you're going to have to crack a few eggs to bake that cake. Maybe telling people you want out of a contract or a situation or whatever that's coming to me. And you can look out for signs and validation, because they're going to be popping up in your life. Confirmations of what you're looking to kind of create and move towards in your life. So around you, you might notice signs. You might hear a certain song being played that wouldn't normally be played, or somebody will say something that brings your awareness back to whatever it is you're trying to create, or number patterns. Lots of different ways, especially if you've been feeling quite depleted and broken for a while. This is a time to bring you renewed faith in yourself, faith in the process, faith in a higher, stronger power that's weaving its way through all of us. Alright, so yeah, after waiting a long time, this can feel like it's happening quite fast. And this can be inner change as well as change in your outside world as well. So one or both of those things. But you can expect sudden movement and change and release in well, I don't want to say positive or negative, really, it doesn't matter. Alright, so yeah, fill up that space, whether it's internal or external, with all the good stuff, the stuff that puts a smile on your face and helps you sleep well at night. Lots of light. Yeah, okay, so they want me to remind you that you can trust your journey, you can trust your direction, you can trust yourself. So in amongst any triggers and activations, remind yourself, this is happening for me, not to me. This is a potential for things. This energy is so creative and so powerful. It does have the potential for things to also be explosive. Really feeling like that bruise is being pressed, or that plaster's being ripped off. Maybe childhood patterns will come to the surface. Unhealed childhood stuff is what I'm getting, could surface. So parent yourself if you need to, or say the things you need to say, or help your inner child. What does your inner child want from you or need from you? Maybe they need an opportunity to play and be creative and try some things. Maybe they need an opportunity to be held and to cry. All right, so just feeling into yourself. So yeah, just chill, take a deep breath, release what you need to, let the mind go. Just be a channel for your own release. Let it all flow through you as much as it needs to. Alright, so also with this, you might become aware of where some needs, particularly emotional needs, haven't been met. And this can feel like, right, I've had enough of this lack, I've had enough of not receiving what I need to receive, or so it might lead to some conversations. Yeah, again, that explosive potential for explosive energy is there. So, you're a conscious being. You can work with that to clean it. Just regulating your emotions, managing yourself. You don't have to take things personally, and you can look back with fresh eyes, adult eyes, and reframe things and help to neutralize those emotions within yourself. And making sure that your energy is being directed into the right places. So, like if you are being triggered by, let's say, another person, you can ask yourself, am I actually reacting to this situation, or is there something behind it, something from before that's making me, well, potentially overreact again? So work with that to become present again and to be sovereign again within yourself. It's just like unloved parts coming up to receive love. And you are the alchemist, you are your own healer, so you can transmute that by sitting with it, by acknowledging it, by looking at it from all angles, and then just letting the past go, forgiving, choosing love, choosing you. Okay, yeah, so lots of opportunities for making peace with the inner child, with parents, with families, with ancestral wounding. Really bringing home all parts of yourself and seeing yourself differently and being and feeling much more of your wholeness. You were always whole, you just forgot. And this keeps going as you resolve what's just been sitting there waiting for the right moment to be, neutralized. So this is very empowering, breaking free from things that are holding you back and preparing you for the eclipses. Alright, so it's showing me the eclipses now. 1 second. Alright, so these eclipses are going to bring in, how do I say, cosmic understanding, real deep, profound understanding of who you are at your core, and therefore shake out what is not coming forward with you anymore, or shake out anything that is no longer serving you or relevant. You're going to be able to see yourself with a new understanding and just completely new, fresh eyes. This expansion and these activations are going to be massive as people are really shedding old skin to reveal a new self. Wow. Okay. So with that could come tests in how you balance yourself and revelations about yourself and your path. Just be ready for anything, baby. Yeah, the revelations are coming, the gifts are coming. I nearly said revolution. I don't know if that was meant to come out or not, maybe. So yeah, there could be some little tests along the way to see if you really have integrated all these parts of yourself in your new way of being. That's why, being the observer of your thoughts is important at this time. Being the observer of how you feel, not just being reactive and on autopilot. That's what it means to be conscious. Okay, so Let me just see what this means, what the visual they're giving me. Okay, so things could seem to happen and change quite suddenly, quite instantly, out of the blue almost. So closing chapters, closing doors, making decisions, having clarity, just like, okay, I'm done, or I know, do not pass go and collect £200. Just like, I have this feeling, I have this sense, I have this knowing, and it's instant, and I have to just follow that direction, even if it seems completely wild, actually. Because it's actually almost too overwhelming to do anything else. I've lived my life for a long time like this now, where if I'm out of alignment with what my heart and my soul is telling me, it's too overwhelming for me to do the other thing. Yeah, so I get that. All right, so yeah, it's feeling very activating. So look, we're just going to have to surrender, because with these activations, I mean, everything could just be coming up, changing, moving, stuff going on with the body, stuff going on with the life. We just have to surrender, because it's happening, you know, immediate endings and closure, burning bridges even, not taking any prisoners, no going back. So just put on your ruby slippers and skip off down the yellow brick road, because this is where we're going now, you know. So we don't have to give in to the fear. We don't have to give in to they're saying agenda, but I don't know what the agenda is. We just got to follow our hearts, all right? So you're on an adventure now. We're all on an adventure. Menos mente, más corazón. So less in the mind and more in the heart. And if you try to stay where you were, out of safety, it's just not going to work now. This is time to, you know, as a conscious person, trust yourself, trust your journey, trust your heart. There's no point shutting the door after the horse has bolted. That's what they're saying to me. I was thinking about this the other day. I wonder, sometimes my idioms might not land. I've got a lot of listeners in the States in particular. Hi, by the way, thank you for listening. I wonder, sometimes I wonder what I'm talking about. Anyway, so then, oh, interesting, Mercury's going to go retrograde, correct. So this is going to go over everything that's come up before it, and then some. So clean your house now. Pay the full balance now, or pay later with interest. But seriously, so before those are the early parts of April, we've got this opportunity to integrate, to recalibrate, to get rid of anything that doesn't serve us, so that then we can really lean into integration and that state of being, that new state of being, when the retrograde comes around. So just focus on you and what you want, and drop anything that you don't want to bring with you. So it's going to be quite important to find home in your own heart, find that peace, welcome the opportunities to see how much you've changed and grown. You know, meditate, give yourself some space to observe what's going on for you and within yourself. And you'll see what no longer serves you. It's going to be quite obvious, actually, what no longer resonates, what you just have to walk away from now, because it feels so out of alignment. You're a wizard now. You're powerful and you're beautiful and you're brilliant. Okay, so yeah, lots to think about and do in Epic April. So just be easy with yourself. Try to free up your calendar a little bit and take some time for yourself. And just get back to the present moment as much as possible, and just let anything go that's not serving you. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for being here, and I really hope that you found it helpful. If you want to connect with me more, there are loads of ways we can make that happen. Just check the description box. And yeah, enjoy the ride. This is your journey, and it's a beautiful one and it's a unique one. So I wish you all the best throughout April, and I hope to see you and connect with you super soon. Lots of love.